Perfect for you there, Ken.
Yeah, that felt really good, man. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving to Mav there watching on the stream. Glad you're watching us.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Phil.
Fucking hell, I've been trying to get... I'm speaking, I'm like, Lucky? And I'm like, why the fuck's mine not working? Turn the controller off and on.
Testing, testing. Welcome everybody along to Brands Hatch for Thursday Night Lights 14. Just letting Ollie Marno in the comments that we will be running plenty of events during the Christmas break. League races are actually going to take a backseat role for December due to it being Christmas and a lot of people being very busy, so that will be our off season. It will serve as a little break for some of these guys. We will still be running events during that time, so fear not. When you come back you will have plenty of racing to get involved in. So we are underway for our qualifying session here at Brands Hatch, racing the Formula 5s tonight, otherwise known as the Formula Rookies. On the grid tonight we've got a few experienced heads, veterans of the Robbins Racing League, including Lecky, last week's winner in the GTE categories at Watkins Glen. Looks like the Console and Champ are the first to come out onto the track here in our quali session. Ollie, it's been too long. We're looking forward to having you back. Well, I certainly am anyway. Been missing my teammate. Got to do some GT4 events around Alton Park. Definitely. During Christmas. Silverstone International as well. Did you catch the stream? Ollie, did you catch the stream of the GT4s at Silverstone National the other day? It was the last Friday actually. Oh, as we see Grandad Steve. Is that Grandad Steve? Yeah, Grandad Steve putting it in the wall there. Getting a little bit loose. These cars default setups tonight, so it should be very closely packed racing here this evening. Ollie, too much coursework to get involved in watching our streams at the moment. Fair enough, mate. Life's busy. Life gets busy. Lots of the guys running off the road here. You're going to have to bear with me tonight, guys, because I'm not actually sure who's in what car, due to the fact that this is not a regular series for us. We've never done these cars once in our history, so I'm not really sure who's in what livery at the moment. So when we see cars coming around in qualifying, there's no way of me actually being able to tell who they are. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning, a little bit of acclimatization this qualifying session as we flick through the drivers to see who's in what. Amber Chewy, our South African driver here, seems to be letting someone go past on his outlap. I believe that's the console. No, it's not the console. This is the console. Champ, our LMP1 champion, had an excellent duel this season in Robbins Racing's inaugural LMP1 championship alongside Richie 95. These guys really put on a hell of a show all season. It went to the final race, the feature race at Le Mans last Saturday for Champ to be crowned. Great job from Dylan. Great to have him on board in the Robbins Racing League. JR dipping his feet into some racing once again today. Good to have him on the track. As to do a lot of commentating and broadcasting. Was actually in the booth for our GT3 championship last Sunday, and the numbers that we get on our GT3 championship honestly is phenomenal, and it's partly down to the guys on the track. It's also partly down to this man here, JR, whose articulation and narration of every single moment and event that happens on the track pulls the viewers in, and I'm sure that you guys will agree with me. He's done a fantastic job. He's taken one for the team, he really has, because GT3, he absolutely loves it dearly. One of his favourite, if not his favourite category on the Project Cars 2 platform. So hats off to him for taking one and actually covering it consistently. He's covered 8 of the 9 rounds in the GT3 championship, and the only time that he couldn't was due to circumstances completely beyond his control. Big happy Thanksgiving to everyone over the pond over the other side of the pond, Kenneth Smith, who's actually on the track at the moment. Kenbo76 here he is. Massive shout out to Kenbo, coordinator of the GT4 Ginetta G55 Super Cup. Final round of the season actually on tomorrow night, so be sure to tune in for that one, live on the Rubbings Racing channel. Always great to have Ken in the booth. Really does have a special talent for commentating that I certainly struggled to match. I definitely take notes after a stream of Ken's and try and copy a few of his little mannerisms, notably hard on the brakes. But my impression is totally off there, completely diabolical. So we're having a look at the times here, and Smithy has actually done the fastest lap of the session so far. Just 0.2 of a second here, separating Smithy and the console. But saying that, JR's gone even faster. He's done a 1:39.4, and he's 0.6 of a second clear of his nearest rivals at the moment. So JR Lock and Load absolutely flying in the early stages of qualifying here for Thursday Night Lights 14th edition here at Brands Hatch, driving the Formula 5s. Massive thank you to all the boys on the stream, Ollie, Ken and Mav, for your comments. It's great to have you all on here. Ken obviously is on the track as well and showing us some love here on YouTube. Great to see. If you're interested in getting involved in the Rubbings Racing League, then head to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. Get yourselves involved in the most authentic sim racing experience on the PlayStation 4 platform, completely free to join. You can become one of the stars of the Rubbings Racing League. We have got over 50 hours, 37 races of footage from Season 2, all on our channel. If that's not enough to convince you to join, I don't know what is. So get yourselves involved. If you've got a PlayStation 4, there's no reason not to jump on board. Project Cars 2, I think it's available for £20–25 nowadays, which obviously can serve to be a little bit of a downer, obviously with certain types of people buying the game. We have noticed that there's been a downward surge in the standard of online lobbies on Project Cars 2 PS4. So that's why we've got this. At the end of the day, Rubbings Racing is a safe haven for everyone who wants to get involved in clean racing to participate in a proper racing league. Ollie there saying that Ken loves to see me race out the front. Ken does indeed. Well, you put on a great show for him at Alton Park in round, I think it was round 2, was it? I may stand corrected on that one. I believe it was round 2 of the GT4 Ginetta season. Ollie obviously full-time boarder at boarding school, and he gets about 10–12 weeks a year where he's actually able to join us in the Rubbings Racing League. Last summer was a regular in our leagues, but obviously it's a little bit hit and miss as to whether or not he can get involved. But it's great to have him watching on the stream. Hopefully he's broadcasting it to his dorm, but if he's not, then that's also fair enough. JR Lock and Load, currently our provisional pole sitter at the moment. 0.3 of a second is his gap here to our man from Swansea, Lion's Foot. Ooh, right on the curve there, almost having a little bump as he goes over it. And under the Brands Hatch Bridge now, coming into the last turn. Let's see if JR can improve on his current pole position time, as he absolutely skips over the curb there. Really does have a good command of these cars in the default setups. Comes round the final turn now. And what's this going to be for JR Lock and Load? It's even faster, ladies and gentlemen. The benchmark has been set almost in the 138s there, just 0.07 of a second off of where he wants, off of where I'm sure he wants to be. Agonising looking at those timing screens. I'm sure JR really frustrated with that, as any driver would be when you're that close to breaking into a different sort of spec, if you like. But you can be very proud of that effort there. Lion's Foot's gone a fraction of a second faster. He's gone about a few thousandths faster than his previous best. He still stays second. So provisionally we'll be joining JR on the front row for this TNL 14 here at Brands Hatch tonight. Smithy currently P3, regular in our touring car league, won the sprint race at Spa on Tuesday night. It was actually the race where Luke Bennett secured the RRTCC. Massive congratulations to Luke, by the way, shout out. If you're watching on stream, well done mate, you drove a fantastic season. Shame you didn't stay with us for the feature race, but I'm sure we can forgive you for that. The console moves up to P3, so our man from Norwich definitely got that thing nailed down at the minute, driving the Crystal Palace livery for some reason. I say that, I mean, I'm so obsessed with, is it? It might be, no, is he the green one or the, no, he is the one behind, so he is in the, anyway, so we've got, oh, Lionsfoot's moved up, and Smithy's gone fastest, so Smithy there with a 138.3, just 18 thousandths of a second faster than JR, but these boys absolutely miles ahead in the classification so far in this qualifying session for Thursday night starts 14 here at Brands Hatch, driving the Formula Rookies tonight. Welcome to everyone on stream, thank you for joining us. If you're interested in joining the Robbings Racing League, head to www.robbingsracing.co.uk. We're going to stick with our current provisional pole sitter, Smithy, as he comes round. See if he can get a lovely exit onto the back straight, not using too much curb there as he drives out of the middle of the first sector and embarks on the long run up to the other side of the track. But Smithy seems to really have this sorted. We're driving default setups here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, so this is entirely down to the driver. It is purely driver skill and nothing else here tonight in the Thursday Night Lights. Smithy doing a grand old job here at the moment. JR Pitts currently running P2. Be interesting to see if he does come out for another tilt pole position. He's only 200ths of a second off, so you would imagine that he would probably be desperate to try and get that position ahead of Smithy. Smithy out the last turn. Let's see if he can improve on his current lap time. Currently a 138.3. Smithy over the line. It is a 138.1. So Smithy extends his margin at the front of the field. Again proving his class, but didn't do it there, unfortunately. Ran very, very wide out of the last turn. I'm expecting that JR will be coming out for another tilt at pole position, but you never know. He's only got a minute really to leave the pits. Otherwise he will not get round in time to complete a flying lap. Lionsfoot is coming round the final corner now. Let's see what he can do from P3. Is it going to be an improvement? The console's gone quicker. He's up to P3 within a second of Smithy. Lionsfoot over the line. Not an improvement this time around. Is it the console though? Because I'm just having a look. I'm so used to the abbreviation for the being the console, but it's actually the Italian. So the Italian making his debut in the Thursday Night Lights Championship. Actually made an appearance on Tuesday night in the Tier 2 of the RRTCC. Did a fantastic job, really made a great account of himself. Finished second in our feature race. So hats off to him on his debut, really putting in a shift. So Lionsfoot and the console dropping back in the order, but the console's actually improved up to P4 on his last run. We're just having a look down the order to see what's going on behind them. Amber Chewy over the line, not an improvement that time around. Currently P6 in the standings in qualifying for the Thursday Night Lights 14 here at Brands Hatch. Formula Rookies, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. JR says, happy Thanksgiving everybody. Just want to say, reiterate, massive happy Thanksgiving to all of our transatlantic friends over the other side of the pond. Great to have all of you guys that are watching us with us, and I hope that, I'm not sure what you guys have for Thanksgiving dinner. Is it turkey? Well, whatever it is, I hope it's delicious. I hope it's absolutely delicious. JR says get involved, leave us a comment. Who do you think's going to win? Who's your favourite driver in the field tonight? We've got a star-studded field tonight, and Champ, our LMP1 champion, has just put his car into third place. So this is anyone's race here at Brands Hatch tonight for our Thursday Night Lights Championship. 7/10 of a second separates our top three. That's not very much. You consider these guys very little experience in these cars. Default setups. Ollie Marr says, Ollie, who's your favourite driver, JR or me? You'll have to let us know in the comments on that one. Riding with Tuggy Bear, currently P10 at the moment, our man from Chesterfield. I just having a look at the timing screens. Leckie has put his car up to P8, so good job there from Leckie. And the Italian also, is that the Italian? No, it's the Console. The Console's up into P3, so the Console's pulled something out of the bag there. JR says that Ollie reckons that JR's his favourite driver, so thanks for that, Ollie. Thanks. Right, so Smithy currently on provisional pole position for Thursday Night Lights 14 sprint race here. Olimar talking up lines for, obviously them two had a fantastic battle at the Circuit of Americas in our GT3 Championship earlier in the season, round 5 back in October, so a lot of respect there between Ollie and Lionsfoot. JR remembers that very well, was commentating that day, and JR there telling Ollie he hopes that he can be fighting for a podium this evening. Well, JR, you've got a fantastic chance looking at the timing screens. You're only 0.2 of a second off of pole. If you can get the consistency going and get the laps in nicely, then I think you've got a fantastic chance here tonight of taking the victory. But you never know in the Robbins Racing League. Anything can happen in motorsport and Robbins Racing. And this is testament to the guys. It's so unpredictable. You know, the field is so tight and you never know what's going to happen. You know, there could be first corner error, there could be anything could happen. You know, JR could put a wheel on the curb, Smithy could make a mistake, you know, the Console, all of these guys prone to errors, but all very, very clean drivers, all very fair. That's what we're all about at Robbins Racing: clean racing, fair racing, competitive racing. And if you're interested in joining us, head to www.robbinsracing.co.uk, get yourselves involved, register as a driver, become a part of the action that you see in front of your very eyes. So, just to have a quick run down the order. We've got Smithy, provisional pole, JR in second, the Console, Champ, the Italian, Lionsfoot, Kenvo, Ambachuri, Leckie, Tuggy Bear, Tro, Grandad Stee, Traven, DJ Phil will start at the back for our sprint race here at Brands Hatch. Just quickly like to say before we get started to all the guys on the stream, thank you very much for joining us. We're just going to get started for our feature race. We've got Smithy starting pole, JR second, Console third. We're going to press continue and get this one going as soon as we can. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to get going for our sprint race here at Brands Hatch Formula Rookies. Lights are out, we're underway. Looks like a fantastic start from the second row there from Champ. He's up into P3 straight away. Let's see if he can get involved in the action as they come into Paddock Hill Bend. Smithy maintains the lead into turn 1. JR on the inside, Champ second, the Console, Lionsfoot, the Italian, Ambachuri, Leckie, Kimbo, Grandasty, Tuggy Bear, Tro, Traven and DJ Phil at the back. Into the hairpin. Looks like we're all pretty clean through there. Oh, it looks like the Italian going around the outside there. And Grandad Steve's up into P8 ahead of Leckie. These guys going side by side here in the left-hander. But looks like we're all pretty tidy through there. A couple of guys running very, very wide over the curb onto the grass. Oh, somebody's gone off. Oh, no, disaster for Grandad Steve. Spins out, collects Traven with him. Meanwhile, we got Smithy who checks out a little bit at the front here. He's got a gap of 0.6 as they come down the back straight. JR under attack here. We've got Champ on the inside, the Console on the outside. These boys possibly going 3 wide here. No, it looks as though the Console's had to back out of that one. JR down to P3. Oh, as we see Smithy getting sideways. Oh, a massive accident in the background. JR and Lionsfoot there collecting each other. And those boys going to lose absolutely heaps of positions. Disaster on the first lap for these boys. Meanwhile, we got Smithy leading the race just ahead of the Console. And not too far behind, we've got the Italian having an excellent Thursday Night Lights debut this week. Really crediting our league here. 0.4 of a second separates our top two. Into the last turn. We've still got Smithy just about holding on. But the console looks like he is absolutely gunning for that position. Into paddock hill. Hard on the brakes here. Looks like the console had a little bit of a wide entry there to the corner, which will compromise his exit very slightly. It's one of those corners where the more speed you take in, the more you can take on the exit. It's not a very orthodox corner. It's a downhill, tricky braking zone, paddock hill, and you have to nail it on the entry if you're going to get anything from the exit. Looking back on our battle here for P5, Kenbo, our American driver, coming under a little bit of pressure here from Champ. Champ dropped back, must have made a mistake there on the first lap. He did actually make a fantastic start. We saw him gain loads of places off the line. JR seems to have recovered down in P10. He seems to have got that car going. Big Al says the console will always be the winner in my eyes. Well, Big Al, at the moment, your man isn't running in a winning position, but he's very, very close to it. He's right up the trumpet of Smithy. And these boys have checked out at the front. They are 3 seconds clear of the Italian, currently in our final podium spot in third. So at the moment it looks like these guys are going to have it more or less to themselves, but obviously the fuel loads will lighten as the race goes on, so anything can happen. This is a straight sprint to the line, this one, a 20-minute sprint, no mandatory pit stop for this one, ladies and gentlemen. So this is just a straight up sprint to the line. Whoever's got the pace. As the console having a little look here up into the first corner, but he's not quite close enough that time around. Let's have a little look back and see what's going on behind these guys. We've got Amber Chewy coming under pressure here from JR. Is JR going to look to the inside here? He's letting him know he's there. And JR goes for the dive. Oh, what a move. But he's going to... Oh, down there on the brakes from JR, lock and load. Can he hold it on the inside, or is Amber Chewy going to fight back? Into the hairpin. And JR looks like he's got the move. So fantastic driving. Ollie Marr will be absolutely delighted with that one. He's going to be chuffed to bits watching that as unfold. So JR making amends for the little tangle that he had with Lionsfoot on the opening lap. Lionsfoot not making as good progress here. Back with our leaders. 0.3 of a second separating the top two at the moment. Ollie Marr says in the comments, I'm loving this action. Fantastic from these guys. It really is, Ollie. Honestly, you don't get action like this in any other league on the PlayStation 4 platform, or even in league racing in general. Doesn't matter if it's F1, Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, Gran Turismo, Project Cars 2, I'm sorry, but it is the only place to watch action like this unfold. We're having a look here at the battle here for P4, and it looks like Champ at the moment has got that one. Lecky is falling back. He's been passed by Champ, and he's about to be passed by Kenbo. It looks like our American driver's on the inside. No, he's not. Lecky covers the door, shuts it on him, and Ken's going to have to regroup, go again as they come down towards the pit straight, round the final corner, flat out. These boys will be coming round this turn. Slight banking. As they head down the hill, they're going to be hard on the brakes here. And Lecky, for now, at least holding the position. And next up for JR, Tuggy Bear into paddock hill. Is JR going to be the same on the brakes as he was on Amaturi? Yes, he is. Brilliant stuff from JR. Dives up the inside. He is on an absolute mission. Is JR looking low today? Fantastic driving from him, and I'm sure that he's going to be a force to be reckoned. Oh, as we say, Tuggy Bear with the spin coming out of the hairpin. That's going to lose him heaps of time, heaps of positions, and there we go. Tro gets round him, Amber Chewy gets round him, and looks like Grandad Steve's a little bit too far back to capitalise on that particular error from Tuggy. So Tuggy Bear losing out there. The console's up into P1. He's got past Smithy for the lead, but Smithy looks like he wants to fight back. Oh, the console! Oh, he's gone off the track onto the grass and into the wall, but it looks like he's recovered very, very well. The man from Norwich there, not letting it affect him too much. Oh, as I say that, he's had a little bit of a clips there, white lines there, gets on the marbles, and that's not going to help him one bit. So Smithy with a little bit of breathing space, just as the console had got past him, and feeling the pressure a little bit too much is Alex there, but I'm sure that he will fight back and chase down Smithy once again. We've seen these guys very, very evenly matched, and less than 2 seconds separate them on the road. We're just going to make sure that the console doesn't get too affected by the dirty air. But having said that, it's going from bad to worse now for the console. He's falling apart, and we see Champ go past him for P2. Big Al is going to be absolutely gutted with what he's seeing on the screen at the moment. Alex he's crumbling at the moment, but hopefully he can get that together. Back with JR, he seems to be doing a good job. He's actually pulled the gap on the Italian and Ambachui. He's absolutely miles ahead of these guys now, so JR closing in on the leaders. But we've got 12 minutes left in our sprint race here for the Robbins Racing Thursday Night Lights Championship, 14th edition. It's a weekly event. This is no points for this one, just pride at stake for this particular event. 14th edition, as I say, at Brands Hatch for the Formula Rookies. Great to have all the guys with us on stream. Thank you for joining us. If you're interested in joining the Robbins Racing League, head to www.robbinsracing.co.uk. Register as a driver, get yourselves involved in the action, be one of these boys that you see out on the track, having your name shouted out, become one of the stars of the sim race, of the Project Cars 2 PS4 sim racing business. Who doesn't want some of that at the end of the day? Looking back at the console, he seems to be making amends a little bit here. He's closing onto the back of our American driver, LMP1 champion, Champ, otherwise known as Dylan. Oh, the console's having a little bit of a moment. And Kembo in the background there, we see onto the gravel. So our man from Pennsylvania there, struggling a little bit. And that's going to allow JR to pull onto the back of him. JR absolutely flying here in our sprint race. He's definitely on a charge, although he has lost a little bit of time to Smithy on this lap so far. So dropping off a little bit is our man from York. Let's hope he can get his foot back on the gas, because he has really done a phenomenal job of cutting back through the pack here. We're just under halfway through our sprint race here at Brands Hatch, and the Formula Rookies into Paddock Hill. Ken goes. He's going to have JR for company very, very soon, but in turn JR has actually lost a little bit of time to Ambachui and the Italian closing in on him just a little bit. Ollie Marr saying in the comments he reckons that JR should be getting at least P3. Well, JR, that is pressure if there ever is any, because that is definitely a mammoth of a task for you at the moment. Currently running P5, he is 7 seconds off of P3, and the console currently holding that position. Having said that though, the console has got an absolute handful in that car at the moment. For whatever reason, those tyres not gripping like they should be. He showed phenomenal pace in the opening laps, but that has tailed off a little bit. Maybe the tyre wear getting to him a little bit. Track temperature currently 33 degrees Celsius. So these tyres are going to start to wear a little bit quicker than they usually would under the circumstances. Oh, as we see, that's Kembo losing the car. JR is up into 4th place. That is going to release him into the path of the console. So Ollie Marr will be very excited now, because his man currently running P4, he has 8 seconds to make up to finish on the podium here in our sprint race for Thursday Night Lights 14 here at Brands Hatch. And we can see 3 wide in the background. Lecky is up into P6. Can he get past Kenbo here for P5? It doesn't look like it. He's just passed. Oh, as we see the Italian going round the outside though. Lecky must have had a slowdown penalty as they came down the main straight, because it looked as though the Italian and Ambachui both got round him. Lecky's going to have a look up the inside here. Ambachui going into the hairpin. Is he going to go for a dive though? It looks like he is, but he can't hold it on the inside. He's going to get a warning from the race director for that one. Lecky will have to back off and let our man from South Africa come through, and he does do so. Hats off to Lecky. Good driving there from our moderator on the Robbins Racing forum, coordinator of the RRTCC. Actually won the championship in our tier 2 of the RRTCC during season 2. That will promote him to tier 1 next season. We're looking forward to seeing what our tier 2 champion can do next season in the RRTCC. Fantastic driving all season from him. Ran away with it in the end. Had a little bit of competition from Demobi towards the end of the season, but ultimately just had the points in the bag from a long way out in that particular championship. But staying on the back of Ambachui, it looks like the Italians checked out from these guys just a little bit, and we're seeing JR under pressure here from Kenbo. So Kenbo not letting this one up. Looked like he might get a slowdown penalty for that one. Went very, very wide there. But JR not really making the sort of inroads that we'd hoped he might be making on the leaders. So Olimar at the moment, it's not looking good for your man. He's currently running P4, but he is 8 seconds off of a podium spot, and he's only lapping 2/10 faster than the console. So at the rate he is going, he's not going to make up the podium spot. Saying that, Smithy must have made a mistake, because everyone's just closed in on him a little bit. Champ now only 2 seconds behind our pro touring car driver. But Smithy does respond a little bit through the first sector here. He's gone 4/10 of a second quicker than our man from the USA in the first part of this lap on lap 8 for the Thursday Night Lights Championship, 14th edition here at Brands Hatch. Let's have a look back through the pack, see what these guys are doing. Obviously Tuggy Bear, we still had the spin coming out of the hairpin. Seems to be having a race all by himself at the moment. It looks like Lionsfoot is actually closing on him. In the background we can see our Welsh driver from Swansea definitely making gains on our man from Chesterfield. But last time around he was 3 seconds a lap faster. So definitely that is a battle that we've got to keep our eyes on. Telemetry showing that our Welsh driver definitely with the ascendancy in that little battle. And Lionsfoot very unlucky actually on the first lap to have lost the time to a collision with JR. JR has simply done a better job of recovering from that little blemish. He is... Oh my goodness, what's happened? The console! No! The console's had enough! The console's had a moment, and that's going to promote JR up into the podium spot. Ollie Marson, he's done it! Your boy's in the podium spot! This is incredible! Unbelievable development here! Let's go, says Ollie Mar. Fantastic here. So JR lock and load. Disaster for the console there. Our man from Norwich definitely struggling with the rear end of that car there. For whatever reason, we just don't know. I'm sure we'll find out after the race exactly what's going on with this. But it looks like we've got a battle here going on for the final podium spot. JR not having this to himself. Looks like Kenbo is hassling him, not too far behind. Less than a second separating these boys at the moment on lap 9 of our sprint race here for the Thursday Night Lights 14th edition here at Brands Hatch. Smithy's extended the gap to Champ. I think that's more down to an error from Champ than particular brilliance from Smithy. Having said that though, Smithy consistently pumping in the lap times at the moment, really doing a phenomenal job. Big Al says, console, get your head in the game, son. What are you doing? Well, at the moment, Alex, with the pace, we've seen he's got the pace. Qualifying was brilliant. First couple of laps, right there, really, really challenging. Actually got the lead briefly before throwing it away pretty quickly after that. But Smithy has checked out here. He's got a 7-second lead here over Champ, our American driver, LMP1 champion. Has announced that he will be returning to the Endurance Championship in January to defend his title. The season next season will be a little bit shorter. We're going to have a 6-week season. That allows everyone to have a chance to go for a championship, commit themselves to something. And that's what we're going to do. We want to make sure that everyone gets a fair bite of the apple here at Robbins Racing. So Smithy at the moment with the gap, but Champ doing a solid job, and JR also closing the gap on our race leader. Just seeing it's now 10 seconds behind him, but with only 4 minutes left in our sprint race at the moment, it looks like we are pretty much set for our top positions. Just seeing Smithy's got an 8-second gap to Champ. Champ a further 3 seconds ahead of JR. JR still not shaking off the console though. The console will be desperate to get back into those podium spots. Ollie, your job's not done yet, mate. JR could still lose the position. Anything can happen in the final 4 minutes here at Brands Hatch in the Formula Rookies for the Thursday Night Lights Championship. Thank you everybody very much for joining us live on the stream. If you're interested in joining the Robbins Racing League, head to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk and get yourselves involved in the action. Be one of these boys that you see in front of you, having your name shouted out. Become one of the stars of the Project Cars 2 PS4 sim racing business. What's stopping you at the end of the day? Back to our battle here for the final podium spot. The console definitely closing here on our man from York as JR dips a little bit of a tyre onto the grass there. Just half a wheel there. The tyre's very, very thin in these cars. The rear wheel's definitely a lot wider than the front wheels, but we're having a look here as they come around the last corner now, and we're going to ride on board, see what the console's seeing, and he can see that rear end of JR swirling around in front of him as we come through Paddock Hill. And the console, a little bit of curve on the entry, that will have compromised him just a tad, but definitely running very, very well in the turbulent air of that car. Seems to have maybe got those tyre pressures, tyres up to temperature, and a lot less shaky than he was in the middle stint of this race. Just having a look here, it looks like Leckie is closing onto the back of the Italian here. This is the battle for P6. Leckie takes a little bit too much curb there. I don't know if he would have got a warning from the race director. Very, very possibly he would have done. And ladies and gentlemen, oh, as we saw, Leckie with a little bit of a wobble, but holds it together. I did tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that we would have a battle here going on for P9, and we have indeed. Lionsfoot has actually latched onto the back here of Tuggy Bear. So this one set to go to the wire here. We have got just over 2 minutes left in our sprint race here for the Thursday Night Lights here at Brands Hatch. Stay tuned, stay with us for the feature race. There'll be a 10-minute break at most. This is like absolute worst case scenario, a 10-minute break between the sprint and the feature race. It will be a reverse grid based on the results of the sprint. So all of the guys who finished at the front in the first race will be starting at the back in the feature, and likewise the guys who finished at the back will be the pole sitters, or the front guys if you like, for the feature race. We'll have one formation lap so we can get in order, get everyone sorted out, and then we will be green. Just having a look at the front. Champ, oh, Champ's in the wall. Champ's had a spin. Oh my goodness, and he's been collected. He's been collected by Leckie. Massive collision here, and Leckie will not be happy about that, but there wasn't an awful lot Champ could do in that situation. He didn't seem to be aggressively rejoining the track there. He just was caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time. Leckie likewise. So these boys with a huge crash here coming through the final turn. That will promote JR up into P2. So Ollie Marr, great news for you, my friend. JR is up into P2, but the bad news is he's got the console right behind him. The console, Alex doing a fantastic job. He's up into the podium spot and he's in the slipstream now as they come down the back straight. JR's going to send him round the long way. And can the console go round the outside? No, it doesn't look like he doesn't look like he can out drag him here. So JR holding the position, holding his nerve, holding the line. It'd be interesting to see if Smithy's going to start another lap. He's got 30 seconds on the timer. Then maybe Smithy can cruise round the last part of the lap. It would be pretty touch and go. Let's see what Smithy does here as he comes into the final couple of turns. He could probably afford to ease off and stop before the line and still win, but let's see what he does. Anyway, Smithy out of the last turn, and looks like we are going to go for another lap here at Brands Hatch for our sprint race. Yep, we are going to start one more lap, so on to lap 13 here for our sprint race here for Thursday Night Lights. Smithy, our race leader, has driven an absolutely faultless race. We are going to stay with our battle over P2, ladies and gentlemen, because JR is taking a very, very defensive line here down the pit straight. The console's going to have to go around the long way, as we saw down the back straight on the previous lap. JR saying, if you want to get past me, you're going to have to do it in the long way. Once again, taking a very defensive line coming into the hairpin. The console very, very motivated for that position. Not much to separate these guys. Also, having a look in the background, we have got Leckie and Kembo very, very close on the road at the moment. Just half a second separating these guys for the battle for P5 and 6. Back to our boys in P2 and 3. This is for the honours on the podium. If these boys tangle, then the Italian will be right there to capitalise to possibly take a podium. We don't know what's going to happen here. Anything can happen on this last lap here. Ollie Marr, I'm sure he's sat there absolutely praying that his man JR holds on for P2. Back with our race leader Smithy. He has driven a faultless sprint race. Recently, sprint races seem to be his forte at the moment. Winner of the RRTCC Round 10 finale sprint race at Spa-Francorchamps on Tuesday evening. And he's done it again. Ladies and gentlemen, Smithy into the last couple of turns now. Driven a brilliant sprint race. Was briefly overtaken by the console on lap 3, but he quickly got around him again. And Smithy will take the sprint race here for the Thursday Night Lights here at Brands Hatch. JR's just about going to hold on from the console to finish in second. Olimar will have a grin from ear to ear with that one. The Italian comes over the line in P4. Lecky looks like he's going to hold on for P5 ahead of Kenbo. They're going to be very, very close, but I think the Lecky's got that one in the bag. Well, he has, but he's maybe going to cost his pit crew a bit of time with that little shenanigans. Champ, disappointment for him. Obviously, he had a great chance of finishing on the podium and threw it away with 3 laps to go in that one. So Champ finishes in 7th. Amber Chewy, oh, he's got a battle here. Is Tuggy Bear going to get onto the back of him? Lionsfoot must have made a mistake, because we saw that Lionsfoot was closing in on Tuggy Bear for a number of laps, but he doesn't seem to have kept that position. So it looks as though Tuggy Bear just about held off by Amber Chewy. Amber Chewy P8, Tuggy Bear P9. Lionsfoot's going to come round the last turn now to finish in P10, complete the top 10. Our Welsh driver there doing a grand old job. Our man from Newcastle, Grandad Steve, over the line in 11th, had a little bit of a no-show in that one. Didn't see too much of him, unfortunately, with his incident on the first lap. Traven finished in 12th, didn't really get much airtime. Likewise Troy, but great to see those guys sticking with it, keeping going, and hats off to you boys. DJ Phil, also likewise, good driving, mate. Good to have you with us. So Smithy takes the win in our sprint race for Thursday Night Lights. JR and the console completing the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us on air. We're going to be about 10 minutes, realistically, until we get this feature race going. The boys are just going to have a quick break, quick 5-minute break, get their stuff together, get everything sorted out, and then we're going to have a 2-minute break in between the lobby screens where people can just sort their setups out, get their pit strategies done, because there will be a mandatory stop. The feature race, double the laps of the sprint race, plus a formation lap. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. It's going to be a hell of a feature race.
What time are you going out?
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the delay. We are back and ready to start our feature race here for Thursday Night Lights, 14th edition here at Brands Hatch. This is going to be a hell of a race, ladies and gents. We have got a few guys here who are definitely looking to make amends in our feature race after errors in the sprint race or mishaps, accidents, all sorts occurred. So people like JR, the console, will be looking to challenge Smithy in this one and stake a claim for the victory here in our feature race. This is a reverse grid based on the results of our sprint race. So DJ Phil will lead us away from Tro, then Traven in third, Grandad Stee lining up in fourth place. Lionsfoot, our Welsh driver from Swansea, in fifth place. We got Tuggy Bear, our man from Chesterfield, on the third row. We got Amber Chewy, Champ, obviously. I think Champ's going to be a bit of a dark horse for this one. We know he's got the pace. He's starting mid-pack for this due to the fact that he had a little mistake on the last couple of laps of the sprint. Lecky's ninth, then we've got the Italian, the console, JR and Smithy. It looks like DJ Phil's gone, ladies and gentlemen. Has he? No, not yet. We're almost ready for lights out here as we come out of the final turn. When DJ Phil wants to put his foot down, we will be racing. It looks like he has gone. We are underway here for our feature race. We've got two in a line at the back here. It looks like the console and the Italian going wheel to wheel. We're going to come into turn one. Is Tro going to look up the inside of DJ Phil? No. Yes, he is. Tro is up into the lead. It looks like DJ Phil coming on his attack. Grandad Stee's got past him, and it looks like so you've got Champ and Lionsfoot diving at the inside. Champ, what a start. 8th to 3rd already. Unbelievable start from our American driver there. LMP1 champion, 3 wide coming out of the hairpin. Let's hope these boys keep it clean. They do. Fantastic driving here. All of these boys keep it marshalling themselves, keeping it in order. A couple of guys going very, very wide there. But everyone keeping it together. Grandad Stee leads the race. Champ second, Lionsfoot, Chavin, Lecky, DJ Phil, the console, Amber Chewy, JR, Smithy, Tuggy Bear, the Italian, and Tro at the back of the field. Onto the back straight. Oh, there's a massive crash. A massive crash there, and oh, that's gutting for JR. Absolutely gutting. He's not getting the rub of the green in these Formula rookies here, and it looks like his race all but over on the very first lap of our feature race. Grandad Stee with the lead of the race. Champ breathing down his neck in second place. Just 0.3 of a second separating our guys at the front. Ollie Marr is going to be absolutely devastated watching this live on YouTube. His man already out of the race on lap 1. He's 21 seconds off the pace. Let's hope that JR can get that in order and try his best to get back up the order. But he's going to have a mammoth of a task, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to be easy as we see Champ with a slowdown penalty. That's going to allow Lionsfoot to have a look around the outside. Is he going to make the move stick? Our Welsh driver definitely in the slipstream. Bags of pace, bags of talent in these Formula rookies. In the background looks like Lecky coming under pressure now from the console and Smithy. In fact, no, that's the Italian, that's not the console. I stand corrected. Smithy also very, very close. Our sprint race winner has made fantastic progress on our opening couple of laps here at Brands Hatch. And Smithy's going to look to the inside of the Italian. Is the Italian going to leave the door open? Yes, he does. Smithy dives up the inside. Up into P5. Smithy, nice driving. He's going to have Lecky up next. Let's see if these guys, if there's any sort of teamwork here. Obviously, we know that these guys are very, very good friends from before Robin's racing. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys conduct themselves here down the back straight. Oh, they're not going to need to because Lecky's lost control of the car. Oh, that's a disaster for Lecky. He's going to lose heaps of positions. Our feature race winner last week in the GTEs at Watkins Glen in our Thursday Night Lights 13th edition. And Lecky not having the same sort of luck this time around. Well, I say luck, he drove a fantastic race. It was more down to his pace and his skill and strategy as well last week. Lecky with a fantastic drive. Not so this time around, unfortunately. Smithy up into P4, 3 seconds off the lead. But oh my goodness, our sprint race winner's put it in the wall. He's lost the control of the car, and that's going to lose him bags of time. So Champ at the front. He's got Grandad Stee for company. Not too much separating these guys, but Champ does seem to be pulling away just a little bit here as we come towards the end of our second lap. Technically lap 3. In terms of race distance, this is a 25 lap race for our feature race here for Thursday Night Lights 14 here at Brands Hatch in the Formula Rookies. If you're just joining us, on the stream, welcome along. If you want to get involved in the Robbins Racing League, head to our website, www.robbinsracing.co.uk. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Robbing Racing. Check us out on Facebook. Most importantly, hit that likes button, that subscribe button, and turn those post notifications on. Looks like Grandad's had a little bit of a wobble there through the first sector, but he's kept it together. These boys, not too much separating them. 0.6 of a second at the front. Grandad's not letting Champ off the hook, but our American driver does definitely seem to have the ascendancy at the moment. Looking back, we've got the Italian coming under massive pressure now from Lecky, our RRTCC coordinator in the background. Bit of a lock up there from Smithy, struggling in this feature race. Definitely the higher fuel loads have caught Smithy out, had it absolutely controlled in the sprint, but with more fuel aboard that car, he's definitely not got that sorted at the moment. We'll keep an eye on Smithy, see if he can come back through the pack. He's only got 10 seconds to the leader. This is a very long race, ladies and gentlemen. 25 laps of Brands Hatch for our feature race. Anything can happen. Stay posted, stay tuned, because this is going to be an absolute cracker here this evening. Not much separating our boys in 4th and 5th here. The Italian and Lecky definitely not letting him off the hook. We've got JR on the back of Ambachui, similar to what we saw in our sprint race. JR making his way back through the pack. He's a little bit further back in this race than he was in the sprint, but he's also got more time to make up the positions in this one. He's got twice the laps to do something about it, so it'll be interesting to watch JR's progress in this race. And he's pulled right onto the back of Ambachui. He's going to have a wonderful chance in the slipstream as they come onto the pit straight. Is he going to have a little look up the inside? Maybe distract him in the mirrors. He does. And Ambachui takes the bait, dives to the inside, defends the line. Is JR going to try on the outside? No, Ambachui sends him the long way. Is JR going to have a look? And these guys definitely closing on Tuggy Bear and Traven in the foreground there as they come into the hairpin. But it looks like Ambachui holding his nerve, holding his line, and not being bullied out of the way there by JR. And in the meantime, these guys are also closing onto the back of Tuggy Bear. Tuggy Bear definitely getting held up here by Traven. These boys are going to be 4 in a line here. Line astern. JR dives up the inside of Ambachui. Oh, and meanwhile, it looks like the Tuggy Bear. Well, no, that was the Italian losing lots of positions. So must have made a mistake somewhere. Meanwhile, JR up into P8 ahead of Ambachui. Next up for him is Traven. So that was Tuggy Bear there spinning out and losing lots and lots of time. Ollie Moore, if you're still watching, do you still think that JR can be on for a podium in this one? He's definitely got a lot of traffic to clear. He has just got ahead of Traven, so JR up into P7. Meanwhile, our race leaders got a second of a gap here to Grandad's D. Lion's Foot now with Lecky and the Italian. Also Smithy in his mirrors. These guys are going to go 4 in a line here through Paddock Hill. Looks like Lion's Foot is going to have Lecky going up the inside here at the hairpin. Is Lecky going to be late on the brakes? Yes, he is. Lecky up the inside. In turn, in the background, we can see the Italian also making amends, making moves. And we've got Smithy here looking to capitalise on these guys going at it. And Smithy also going faster than our race leader. So this is a hell of a battle here for the final podium spot at the moment. Smithy, I'm sure, will be looking to clear these guys as quickly as possible. Oh my goodness! Contact there between Smithy and Lions, but almost ended in tears just about these guys keeping it together onto the back straight as Smithy is up ahead. He's got the Italian and Lecky up next. So Smithy trying to make his way back through the pack. We saw an uncharacteristic error from Smithy on lap 2 of this feature race here. It was our sprint race winner, drove faultlessly in that one, but in this one he's had it definitely not his own way so far. While these guys battle, JR is definitely closing in on these guys. Just 10 seconds now off of a podium place. And if he can get his foot down, I'm sure Ollie Marr will be absolutely delighted to see. Oh, who's that? That's Smithy. Is that Smithy? Yes, it is. So Smithy, get in the wall. I can't get that back end sorted. These heavy fuel loads really catching our man out there. And Smithy is down into P6. Having a look here at our battle for P3. So Lecky pulled away a little bit from the guys behind, but the Italian sticking with him, definitely. Through Paddock Hill. And into the hairpin. These guys hard on the brakes, but it looks like Lecky's got the measure at the moment. We'll keep an eye on these boys. Oh, very, very wide onto the curb and onto the grass. These boys, teammates, sharing the same livery. No team orders by the looks of it. Looks like these guys free to race. Lecky doing a good job holding P3 at the moment. We're going to pull onto the back straight, and that is, I believe, that must be DJ Phil Green. DJ Phil Green, blue flags, my friend, blue flags, back straight. Good job, good job. GJ Phil pulls over to the side of the track and lets the boys through. That's what we want to see. That's what we like in Robbins Racing. That's what you come to expect here. The guys, when you're being lapped, they're very respectful, know the rules. And DJ Phil, no different. Oh, the Italian getting very, very loose there onto the grass. We're on lap 7 here of our feature race for Robbins Racing's Thursday Night Lights Championship here at Brands Hatch. And Lecky definitely pulling out a little bit of a gap here to the Italian, but I'm sure that the Italian is going to stick with him, stay in contention for the final podium spot. And in turn, we've also still got Lionsfoot and Smithy in the background. I'm sure they're going to play a part in this one. JR also closing on these guys. We just saw last time around did a quicker lap time than all of these guys. So JR lock and load coming through the pack, obviously with his first lap collision where he was actually turned on his upside down. That definitely set him back in this one, but doing a good job at the moment. Damaged imitation there. And it's good to see that he's fighting back. Grandad Steve's up into the lead. We missed it on the stream, but he's now in the lead. He's just under 2 seconds ahead of Champ. So Champ, our American driver, must have made a mistake somewhere, because he's dropped lots and lots of time. 5 seconds slower that last time around than Steve. So I'm sure that wasn't his representative time. I'm sure there was an error somewhere on that lap. But disappointment for Champ. He'll have to regroup, go again, and tear after our man from Newcastle, who, by the way, doing a brilliant job in our feature race. Steve really has got these Formula rookies absolutely sorted. It's great to see our pro touring car driver, tier 1 racer, dipping his feet into some Thursday Night Lights action and doing a really good job at the moment, holding P1, keeping our American driver at bay at the moment. Just over a second is the gap at the front. Champ is no pushover in the Robbins Racing League. He is the champion of our Endurance League, which was run on Saturday nights. Had a great battle with our French driver Richie 95 in that one. Ultimately Champ came out on top. Oh, Grandad Steve's onto the gravel through Paddock Hill, and that's going to allow Champ to take the lead. Champ is up into P1. So Grandad Steve with a rare error there, dropping loads of time. So these guys, you see these front two here, definitely no strangers to an error or two, and this will serve as boosters in confidence for Lecky and the Italian, who are not too far behind our leaders now, just 5 seconds actually, our podium battlers. JR also must be fancying his chances here. The gap at the end of lap 1 for JR was 20 seconds to the leader. Looking at the timing screens, he's now 15 seconds off the race lead. So he really is making massive inroads on these guys at the front. If JR can keep up this sort of pace and consistency, he's going to play himself into contention for the race win at the end of this race. Pit strategy is going to go a long way in this one. If you pit at the right time, then you can do a very, very quick pit stop in Project Cars too. It all depends on what your engine damage is on when you choose to bring it in. So JR, we know that he's got a few tricks up his sleeve, and we're going to keep an eye on our man from York to see what he does. Oh, Grandad Steve's got off again into the barriers this time, losing even more time. That's going to allow Lecky and the Italian to come through, and the Italian is right on the back now of Lecky. these two teammates sporting the same livery. We're going to come down onto the pit straight and see if there's going to be any team orders here. I'm pretty sure these guys are in it for themselves at the moment. The Italian looks to the outside, but Lecky takes the inside, covers the position. Oh, a little bit of curb there by Lecky, lucky to get away with that one, and he's going to cover the inside. Bit of a late move there, but the Italian is going to go for a dive. No, he's not. Lecky late on the brakes. Good defensive driving there from our tier 1, our tier 2 RRTCC coordinator. We'll be racing in tier 1 of the RRTCC next season. Actually won our tier 2 championship this season, so we're looking forward to seeing what Lecky can do in tier 1 next year. Well, next season, but next year as well, because incidentally season 3 of Rubbings Racing's championships actually starts at the beginning of January. I think provisional start date for the Rubbings Racing Championships is the 7th of January, but we will keep you guys posted on that over the winter, and winter testing set to commence during December. We'll have plenty of events for you guys all over on the Rubbings Racing Discord. Get yourselves involved, register as a driver and sign up, be part of the action that you see live in front of your very eyes tonight here at Brands Hatch in the Formula Rookies, as we see Lecky and the Italian going at it, but they're also holding each other up. We've got to remember that Champ is stretching out the gap. Grandad Steve's in the pits, and that looks like it's Tro there being lapped by these guys. Tro doing a good job adhering to the blue flags. Lecky under pressure now from the Italian, back through the final turn again. These guys bumper to bumper. I say bumper to bumper. These guys don't have bumpers. I don't know what I am talking about. Onto the pit straight, and the Italian once again in the slipstream, having a look possibly up the inside. He's going to try and distract him, maybe. Not that much really. Definitely could have done a little bit more in the mirrors, but the Italian with great respect there for like, oh, Lecky's gone wide through paddock hill. That's going to allow the Italian into P2, excuse me. So the Italian now is free to set out after our race leader, Champ. Dylan obviously running at the front here in the feature race, had a unfortunate sprint race, was running P2 when he made a mistake with 3 laps to go, and at the moment is definitely making amends. He's got a 5-second lead at the front. Can he stay there? Can he keep the car going in the right direction, keep it in a straight line? If he can do that, Dylan is going to take the win here. But there's a long way to go. We're on lap 11 here of 25 for our feature race for Thursday Night Lights 14 here at Brands Hatch in the Formula Rookies. Ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. It is going to be a fascinating second half of this feature race. We've got the Italian running P2. We know he's capable of closing in on our race leader Dylan. Also Lecky not too far off of these guys. JR definitely closing, but having said that, the gap not coming down at the rate that it was. In fact, last time around, our race leader actually pulled a half a second on JR. So JR going to have to get his foot down if he wants to win this one. It may be a bit beyond him. Just unfortunate, really, for JR, because obviously he had the incident on the first lap, really set him back. And he's had nothing but bad luck in these 2 races here for Thursday Night Lights this Thursday. Really has not had the rub of the green so far in this event. And honestly, he's had some bad luck this season in general. We saw, oh, it's Lecky round the outside of the Italian. They must have had a slowdown penalty from the race director. Lecky up into P2. I was just saying that JR with plenty of bad luck this season, disconnected from the formation lap actually for the RRTCC at Bathurst in torrential wet conditions. He had pole position by almost a second. Was class of the field around the Australian track, but in the end was cruelly taken out of the race due to his internet connection. Lecky's got a slowdown penalty, and he's going to allow the Italian to take the position. So these boys dicing, and while they're going at it, Champ, our race leader, pulling out the gap. Dylan with an 8-second lead at the front. Looking back for the pack, can't see anyone too close at the moment, so our sole battle of the field at the moment is these 2 boys, but they're putting on a hell of a show. These 2 teammates running P2 and 3, the Italian and Lecky. Really a credit to Rubbings Racing and the Rubbings Racing League in general. These guys showing what we're about, what we do on Rubbings Racing, and looks, oh my goodness, the Italian with another slowdown penalty. Lecky drives round the outside of him, clean round the outside. Lecky will say thank you very much. Meanwhile, class of the field at the moment. Champ has a 10-second lead at the front. Absolutely dominating this race as it stands. Looks untouchable at the moment. JR's into the pits. So our man in 4th place currently, JR, is going to bring it in, going to make his mandatory stop. Let's see what his pit boys do for him. That front of that car looks absolutely shredded. But a very quick pit stop nonetheless from his pit boys. JR will emerge in P4, I believe. Looks like he's going to get ahead of Amber Chewy. Where is Amber Chewy on the track? He's coming down the pit straight. JR should comfortably clear him into Paddock Hill. And he does do. Very easily in the end there. Lead at the front. 11 seconds. Leckie pulled out a little bit to the Italian, so the Italian dropping back. Definitely running into some problems. Those tyres maybe not gripping like they were earlier on in this race. Amber Chewy has got his mirrors full of Lion's Foot. Or is that the Constantina effect on the graphics? No, it isn't. He really has. Lion's Foot, our Welsh driver, absolutely flying on lap 13 with just over half distance here in our feature race for the Thursday Night Lights Championship. 14th edition. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, if you're interested in joining Robbins Racing for our off season, we've got plenty of events, plenty of races, lots of action, and if you want to decide you want to be involved in our next season, which is starting in January, then have a look through our videos, check out our archive. We've got so much action from season 2, all in our playlists, all in our folders. Check it out, decide if it's for you. We're the most authentic sim racing experience on the PlayStation 4 platform today. Only way to get involved, go onto our website www.rubbingsracing.co.uk, register as a driver, and you'll get redirected to our Discord, and you can get yourselves involved on there. I'm sure he's pulled out a little bit of a gap here to Lion's Foot on this last lap here. So Lion's Foot at the moment not able to keep tabs with our South African man. In the background we can see the console is definitely closing on these guys. The console with a bit of a mare in the opening couple of laps. I believe he's pitted though, so the console has got that one out of the way, and he's doing an excellent job at the moment of fighting back. He's actually done a 1:38.6 on his last lap, so the console absolutely flying. Hats off to you, Alex. You're doing a fantastic job at the moment. Also shout out to Alex's missus. We believe she's watching live on the stream. Alex is doing... he could have been doing better in this one, honestly, I will say. But he's doing alright. He's fighting back. He's doing very, very fast lap times at the moment. And hats off to Alex, you know, he's fighting back. So, going to keep an eye on the console. 13 seconds is the race lead. The champ has got over Leckie. 15 seconds now, so Leckie's into the pits. Leckie makes his mandatory stop. Is the Italian going to follow him? No, he's not. So those team orders saying Leckie track position will be the first guy in. The team bringing him in, getting that one out of the way. The Italian is going to stay out for at least another lap. Our race lead is on to lap 15 of 25 here at Brands Hatch. And Lion's Foot definitely falling off the back of Amber Chewy. And it looks like these guys are about to come through to lap Tro. So Tro is going to have to adhere to the blue flags once Amber Chewy and Lion's Foot pull up on him. And Tro there doing an excellent job. Well done, Tro. Hats off to you, mate. That's what we want to see. When the blue flags are waved, our drivers adhere. And it's excellent to see the sportsmanship from the guys here at Robbins Racing. Top class. We wouldn't expect anything else from our guys. I feel like the standard of driving here at Robbins Racing sets us apart from all the other PlayStation 4 sim racing businesses. But if you want to get involved, you already know what to do. Go to www.robbingsracing.co.uk. JR's up into P3. And Leckie's had it off. What's happened to Leckie onto the entry to the back straight? He's had a moment, and that's going to allow Amber Chewy to come past him. Leckie losing positions. Is he going to lose position to Lion's Foot? Lion's Foot in the background, definitely closing on him. Leckie there in the wars. Don't know what happened to him, but dropping time, dropping positions. And losing talent all at the same time. Lionsfoot will be looking for that position very, very hungrily at this stage in the race. So they feel pretty strung out apart from these guys. Amber Chewy, Lecky, Lionsfoot, the only guys really running alongside each other at the moment. Just 2 seconds separates these three guys on the road. So it's nip and tuck at the moment. Obviously, once the pit stops come into effect, we're going to see a much more accurate pecking order. But JR's got a 38-second gap to Champ, so when Champ comes into the pits, with the pit lane being about 25 seconds, that gap should be about 12 seconds once Champ comes in. I think it's too little too late for JR. I don't think he can win this one. He's only gaining a few tenths of a second each lap on our race leader. So unless JR puts in a hell of a shift in these last 10 laps, I think Champ should have this one. But stay tuned, guys, because anything can happen as we see Lecky pulling up onto the back of Amber Chewy here as we come into the hairpin. Hard on the brakes now. Sorry about that, boys, on the stream. I had to very, very quickly just take a message there. So we're back with our boys here as we see Amber Chewy definitely coming under pressure out from Lecky for P4. These guys definitely running together, and it looks like Lecky maybe losing a little bit of grip here in the dirty air of our South African. Is Lecky going to go for a move? He's going to pull alongside him. We're going to go wheel to wheel here through this tricky middle section, and Lecky's up the inside. He's up into P4. Can Amber Chewy fight back though? And in the background, Lionsfoot licking his lips, thinking, I want to get involved in this little battle. The Italians into the pit lane. So let's see. He was running side by side with Lecky on the track before Lecky came in. I think Lecky's going to comfortably clear him in the pit stops. I think the Italians actually lost a lot of time there on his in laps. So the Italian definitely losing out in the pit stop phases. Not a good one for him. Looks like he's going to get jumped by the console. Lines for Amber Chewy all through his Tuggy Bear. No, Tuggy Bear's not close enough to get past him. So the pecking order on lap 17 of 25 here at Brands Hatch. We've got Champ showing the way at the moment. He's got a massive lead to JR in second place. And these guys have all now been in the pit lane. So it's all now down to pace here, but Champ with a huge lead. Just having a look at the timing screen, Champ must have been in the pits, but having said that, he could not have done a 1 minute 54 on an in lap. That's not possible. No, he has been in, 100% he has been in. So it looks like all of our boys have been in the pits. So this is now representative pecking order of our feature race here for Robbins Racing's Thursday Night Lights Championship, 14th edition at Brands Hatch. Champ over the line. He has got 8 laps left to go before he is crowned the 14th edition of Thursday Night Lights champion. 19 seconds and counting, the growing gap to JR in second, Lecky in third place. He's got 3 seconds in hand to Lionsfoot, so Lecky could be on for a podium if he can keep it consistent. Lecky with brilliant form actually in our Thursday Night Lights Championship. Really has been one of the stars in the recent weeks in the TNL. Obviously won the feature race last week. Was very humble, very wasn't confident at all in his answers in a post-race interview, in the winners interview. Actually said, I shouldn't be winning this race, I should be mid-pack at best. This was down to practice, this was down to preparation, but Lecky, you're proving again that you're a front runner in the TNL, running in P3 at the moment, and you know you're a force to be reckoned with in this particular event, in this particular series. And hats off to you, mate. You've put in the work, you've done the graft, and you're getting the results for it. So well done to Lecky. We're just having a look now at Lionsfoot here. He's dropping off the back of Lecky a little bit. Lecky's responded on that last lap time. We've got the console here, no, the Italian, no, it is the console. running in P5, just ahead of Ambachui. Console also with some good pace here towards the back end of this race. Ambachui likewise sticking with him, not letting him go. The Italian with the absolute mare on the pit stops is down in P7. Traven in P8. Tuggy Bear's in the pits. He's just emerging now. He should be pretty clear ahead of Tro on the road. Tro, Grandad Steed, DJ Phil, hats off to you guys. Thank you for sticking with us. It's not easy running at the back, but at the end of the day, as long as you're clean, as long as you're fair, as long as you adhere to the blue flags, we can't ask any more of you. Thank you, boys, for being a part of the Rubbings Racing League. We appreciate you no end. Thank you so much. Back with our race leader Champ, and he's got a 17-second lead over JR. So JR's actually reeled him in the last time around. JR was 6/10 of a second faster. But honestly, ladies and gentlemen, I think that Dylan would have to make a simply monumental, catastrophic accident if he was to lose this race now. It would have to be the biggest choke in the history of Rubbings Racing. If he was to lose this race now, he's got a comfortable lead. All he has to do is bring it home, guys. That's all he has to do. We know that JR, no pushover though, and we'll be reeling him in. It looks like the console going up the inside here of Lions Foot. He's going to make the move. Is he going to make it stick? Hard on the brakes, out and definitely more confident. The console is up into P4. Nice move there from Alex. Is Scotty going to try and fight back on him? Coming out of the left-hander on the entrance to the back straight now, and Scotty with a lovely exit in the slipstream, and he's definitely going to have a go. Let's see if he can fight back here. Is Alex going to defend the line? Maybe he doesn't need to. He might just about have enough of a cushion, but he's not safe to Scotty. Scotty definitely still there, still letting him know that he wants that position back. And who can blame him? Scotty has driven a fantastic feature race here. Really has shown that he's got the talent and the pace and the consistency in these Formula Rookies. And all these guys driving in the Formula Rookies in a competitive race for the first time. I want to say hats off to all the guys. Really good. I'm very impressed by the wheel-to-wheel action, the speed, the pace, the racing in general. It's been fantastic, guys, and I want everyone on YouTube to recognise that these guys, some of the best racers on the PlayStation 4 platform in Project Cars 2, really are, and we wouldn't have this any other way. We're delighted to have some of the best racers on PlayStation 4 in our midst here at Brands Hatch tonight in these Formula Rookie cars. But Champ definitely showing why he is the endurance champion of the Rubbings Racing League, showing that he's not just a one-trick pony. He can drive pretty much any car you put him in. Actually won the Renault Clio Cup race in the Thursday Night Lights at Monza Short a few weeks ago. In fact, this is only his second appearance in the Renault Clio Cup. Obviously, I want to say a massive happy Thanksgiving to all our American guys. That's the reason why Champ's racing today, is because usually he'd be at school at this time. Obviously in America where he lives it's 2 or 3 o'clock at this time. So lucky he was able to join us here for Thursday Night Lights because of Thanksgiving. Massive happy Thanksgiving to him and all his family, and to Kembo and to Mav and to all of our friends from across the pond. Great to have you with us, great to have you watching, competing, whatever you're doing. We appreciate you guys. Champ comes over the line to complete lap 20. 5 laps left to go now in our feature race, and he will be the winner of the Thursday Night Lights feature race. 19 seconds is his cap. A little bit of a cut there on the inside of Paddock Hill, but he's kept it together, and at the moment doing a consistent job. Looks like the console's got past Lecky. Missed it on the stream, but Alex has done the move. He's up onto the final podium spot. So Alex really with the pace at the moment, doing a fantastic job there in P3. I'm so sorry that we missed that on the stream, guys. Lecky must have made some kind of error. We're just looking at the lap times on the last lap. Lecky losing heaps of time, sorry. And Alex, the benefactor of that little blemish there from Lecky. Lecky potentially could find himself open to an attack here from our Welsh driver here. Lion's Foot again showed that he's really got the pace in these Formula Rookies. He's a jack of all trades, this man, our Welsh driver from Swansea. Loves the GTE class, enjoys GT3 as well. And when he can get on for the GT Fortunettas on a Friday night, he also excels in those as well. Actually took his first win in the Rubbings Racing League in the GT Fortunettas. anyone interested in the GT4 Ginetta League, tune in at 8 o'clock tomorrow night for our final round of the season. The championship already sealed. K Morse with the victory in that one. Kieran with a fantastic season all year round, and hats off to him on the championship. Hopefully he'll be with us tomorrow. It'd be nice to have the champion on the grid for the final race. He has already secured that dominant in that GT4 Ginetta League this season, but I'm sure that this man Scotty, if he's there, which we're not sure yet, hopefully he will be a force to be reckoned with as well. And he is closing onto the back of Lecky, so this one not over, ladies and gentlemen. With 4 laps left to go, I'm sure that Scotty will be absolutely determined to get that position. In the background, Amatui not losing time either. Amatui sticking not too far off for these guys, so good driving there from our South African driving out of Ireland at the moment. And it looks like Lecky might have had a slowdown there. Definitely backed off coming down the pit straight. That's going to allow Scotty right up onto the back of him. Oh, Lecky's gone very, very wide out of Paddock Hill, and that's going to allow Scotty up into P4. Lecky going backwards. I was talking him up a couple of laps ago, and he's done a really good job in these cars, but Lecky losing lots of time in the latter stage of this race. Those tyres may be dropping off the cliff, not handling the same as they were a few laps ago. It's a shame to see Lecky losing a little bit of time here at the latter stage of this race. We are on to lap 22 of our feature race here for Thursday Night Lights. Thank you everyone for sticking with us during this feature race. It's great to have you with us. We have got Champ currently leading the way, our Endurance League champion for Robbins Racing. Sealed the championship at Le Mans on Saturday. Dylan has done a fantastic job all season, and he's proving it again. He's not a jack of all trades, I'd say he's a master of pretty much every category he steps his feet into. He's really excelled in the Renault Clios, won the race at Monza Short in the Thursday Night Lights a few weeks ago, and again showing whenever there's a national holiday and Champ's around for Thursday Night Lights, he absolutely shows his class, and once again really, really delivering when it matters. He's got a 15-second gap here to JR. JR lock and load. I want to say a huge shout out to JR, because at the end of the day he was taken out on the first lap through turn 4, was actually 20 plus seconds behind the race leader. He's driven fantastically. He's actually outpaced Champ for most of this race. That just puts it into perspective how good of a race JR has driven in this one. Kenneth Smith in the comments, USA, USA. Well, Ken, at the moment your boy has got a 15-second lead, doing it for you guys on Thanksgiving. I'm sure that all of our USA contingent, as we see a back marker there getting out of shape, that must have been Grandad Stee there running out of shape, but Champ staying out of trouble, luckily not getting caught up there. But Ken there obviously getting behind his man, his fellow American, and Champ with just over 2 laps now to go, and he will be the Thursday Night Lights 14 champion. It's a weekly event. We're hoping to run it in the off season. We will have confirmation of that on Sunday afternoon in our GT3 coverage, which will be presented hopefully by JR, who's currently running in P2 at the moment. You'll all know who JR is. You'll have heard him on our streams for the Sunday evening races. Fantastic commentator, brilliant broadcaster, always on top of the action. I honestly aspire to have a lot of his qualities in commentary alongside Kembo. As we see a battle here for P4, it looks like Lionsfoot under pressure now from Lecky. Lecky fighting back in the final few laps of this race, so he's not done by the looks of it. Lecky up the inside, and they're going to go wheel to wheel as they come up to the last turn. Who's going to give? Someone's got to back out of it. Lecky up the inside, Lionsfoot hanging it around the outside. These guys side by side as they come around the final turn down the pit straight. In the background there we can see the Italian losing the control of the car into the wall. Hopefully he can get that sorted out and get that back in line. Lecky up the inside into Paddock Hill, into 4th place. Can Lionsfoot fight back into the hairpin? He's going to have a better run, but I think he's too far back unless he can go for a dive up into the hairpin. No, Lecky covers him off, holds the line, holds the position, holds his nerve most importantly. We've got 2 laps left to go for the feature race here for Thursday Night Lights 14, and the battle for 4th place definitely not over. Likewise, the Italian now under pressure from Amatui for 6th place. We're going to stick with our battle here for 4th, because this is an unbelievable turnout here for the books. We have got the Italian with Lecky fighting back after we thought, no, sorry, Lecky with Lions foot fighting back. Excuse me, I'm sorry for the error there on the broadcast. I've got a lot of things to concentrate on. We have got Lecky holding the position and actually seems to have pulled away a little bit in sector 1 here on this lap. So Lecky 7/10 is his gap here to Lions. But oh, he runs very, very wide though. Lions Foot's going to definitely close on him in this section. Champ is on to the last lap. We will ride with our race leader in a moment. Kenneth Smith will be absolutely delighted to see his fellow countryman doing a grand old job at the front. Ken, obviously our GT4 Ginetta coordinator, will be in the box tomorrow night for our GT4 League. Tune in at 8 o'clock. Make sure you stick that in your diary, stick an alarm on for that one, because it's always a hell of a spectacle listening to our American driver commentating on that one. Champ currently 13 seconds is his lead. He's definitely backed off a little bit, doesn't need to push that thing. He's got a healthy gap to JR. All he needs to do is bring it home. In the background we can see a back marker there getting very out of shape indeed. That looks like it might be Traven. Ken Smith, bring it home for the boys, Champ. He's got just over half a lap here to go, and he will be the Thursday Night Lights 14 champion. Looks like Lecky's pulled the gap here to Lionsfoot, and he may have that one in the bag. So 4th place looks like it's Lecky's, barring any catastrophes on his final lap. We're going to ride with our race leader, Champ, as he comes into the final few corners now for our feature race. Thursday Night Lights. Driven a brilliant feature race. Unlucky in the sprint race. Made a mistake about 3 laps from the end, which put paid to his chances of a very, very impressive podium finish. Has won every single race, has won every single feature race that he's started in the Thursday Night Lights Championship. Dylan over the line to take the victory here at Brands Hatch in the Formula Rookies. Fantastic job, Champ. Congratulations, mate. Well done. Brilliant driving. JR, what a fight back from this man. Truly class of the field. Absolutely on the pace. Was dapping faster than Champ for the majority of that race. And what could have been, for our man from York, disappointment to say the least. Looks like the console is going to complete his fight back and finish in our final podium spot, 3rd place. Our man from Norwich doing a solid job there. Lecky's going to come around the final turn, and he does in fact pull the gap to Lionsfoot, holding him off. And very, very good job there from Lecky over the line in 4th. Lionsfoot will be in 5th. Let's have a look back to see the Italian had the pace, was really challenging these guys at the front, but in the end the pit strategy and a little bit of inconsistency in the second half of this race definitely cost him. And more examples of that instance just there. So the Italian definitely got talent and potential, and we can see on the infield there, I think that might be our American driver, winner of this race, doing some donuts, doing it for the Americans on Thanksgiving. And I'm sure that he can share with this with his family and enjoy this moment. Well done to you, Champ. Hats off to you. Fantastic driving. Traven's going to come over the line behind Amber Chewy. Amber Chewy finishes P7. Good driving from Amber Chewy. Thank you ever so much, guys, for watching us live on the stream. Thank you for being a part of the Robbins Racing League. We're going to see if we can get a very, very quick word with Champ. If we can get a quick word and speak to our race winner. If we can't, it's not too much of an issue. But it would be nice to get a few words with Dylan after the race. See if we can. But I want to thank everybody very, very much for watching live on the stream, for sticking with us through the sprint and feature races. It's been a very, very impressive driving from all the guys. It's our first time racing competitively in the Formula Rookies for Robbins Racing. Dylan, thank you very much for joining us, mate. I just want to say massive congratulations. You're the class of the field in that one. 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. Just sum up, what was your race like from your perspective in the cockpit of that car?
Very lonely.
Very lonely?
At the beginning, I jumped a couple people off the line. Madness happened behind me, I could briefly see. And then Granddad kind of just hanged behind me until he made a mistake, and then he fell out of the slipstream range, and I was just on my own from there.
Yeah, because I saw that Grandad Steve was keeping up with you. I saw your lap times were a lot faster than his. I think maybe there was some inconsistency at the start, but you really got that car going. I felt gutted for you in the sprint race there, champ. What happened in the sprint? Because obviously we saw the contact with Lecky 3 laps from the end. I meant to ask you about that, but what happened in that one?
The car just kept wanting to get away from me. Couldn't really control it, and then I guess I sorted that out for the future.
Well, congratulations, mate. Really well done. You made amends, absolutely. Congratulations to you. I'll let you get on with your congratulations, get back to Parc Ferme and carry on with the post-race celebrations. Happy Thanksgiving to you, by the way, and to all of our American contingent watching live on Robbins Racing. I want to thank all of our viewers for watching. I want to thank Champ for joining us briefly in the commentary box there for an interview after the race, our race winner tonight for our feature race. Thank you ever so much, guys. We will see you tomorrow for the GT4 Ginetta G55 Super Cup, being hosted by our American commentator and lead coordinator and moderator on the Robbins Racing Forum, Kembo76. From all of us at Robbins Racing, it's good night. Peace.